He is the best. He's unrivaled, really.
His artistry is this prodigious amalgamation of corporate refinery and raw expression.
He does what he does really well.
Few words can truly be sufficient in describing his genius, but two come to mind. Chester Guydontae. Whose lives haven't been changed by Chester's work? I mean, he's had an impact on us all. We're talking about Nightbirds, The Shout, The Red Pianist, Baby Crop. He has cast forth the shadow of which all designers have lived under for the past 20 years.
What a beautiful man. Chester, he has been an inspirational stimulus to me in both an incorporeal and eruditical manner.
I learned more within the first few hours of knowing Chester than the 8 years prior working in this industry. He is just this fountain of knowledge and spiritual energy.
Two of my three proteges are the best in the business. Present company excluded, of course. I do believe that they are the future. They are my legacy. I've trained them so that art, through them, will endure after I have ceased to endure.
I'm not allowed to be in the studio because how I stand interferes with this process.
People often ask me what inspires me, or rather, what I draw inspiration from. There are a few things that inspire me quite greatly, quite profoundly. I do enjoy watching lovers. I find them quite inspiring. I enjoy nature as well, just all the gifts that it has to offer the senses, the sights, smells, the tastes, have you. All of that. I particularly enjoy walking through the forests in the morning, when the sun has just begun to come over the hills. And I come to a little gathering of trees, and there's a little opening in the branches, and the light begins to shine through. And there's a beautiful spider's web, just right there in the middle of that opening, and the sunlight strikes it in such an interesting way. Then I find a stick to sort of bat that web away, so that the sun can shine through more effectively. When approaching a new project, I find it's best to not think about it at all, actually. I try to distract myself as much as possible from the task at hand. I like to do a little exercise where I think of some sort of random question that I'm not sure I know the answer to, and I just ponder on that for a time. For example, the question comes to mind, what kind of sound would a shark make if it had vocal cords? I'm actually not entirely sure that a shark doesn't have vocal cords. Not sure why it would need them. Being in the water. Sharkapella. Sharkapella in the deep blue. No. Blue doesn't work for me. It's a horrendous colour. No. Blue, disgraceful, really. The worst colour there is. I try not to use it whenever possible.
Yeah, he's colorblind.
His incapacity of perceiving color has in fact set him free from the bondage it has set forth. You see, without the distraction of seeing it, it has actually set him free to touch the zen of pure color. It is his gift and his curse.
Of our recent work, I'd say that I most enjoyed working on the doggy style campaign for Carousel's new swimsuit line. Just focusing on the raw, primal aspect of animals and shining light on their sexuality, and by extension making animals sexual. Though I must confess, lately I've had more of an inclination to return to my roots in fine arts, and I've also been dabbling a bit in cinematography.
changed my life. The idea, the subtle implication that we as designers have so much control over the populace, that we are sort of these farmers of their minds, something to be cultivated, respected. I'll never be much of an outdoorsman, but I'll farm babies. It's what we do.
I like to hold weekly meetings with my crew so that we can just sort of discuss, what's been achieved throughout the week, what we've accomplished, what we need to accomplish. And it was in one such meeting that it occurred to me that whenever one looks at a photograph of nature, be it a tree, the sky, perhaps a lake, it never occurs to the viewer that there is a camera in that natural setting. There's a camera there, taking the photo of the tree or bush or flower, but we only focus on the flower. We never think about the camera. Without the camera it wouldn't be possible, and I think that says something about the human condition.
He has an incredibly specific dress code when we're out in the field.
I was quite excited about this idea initially, and then on the first day of shooting, one of my protégés had to point out the paradox of my idea, which was I could not in fact photograph the camera that I was using to photograph the camera. So, in one essence or another, there would be a camera being left out of this project. And there's nothing that I can do about that. I feel compelled to observe the world and all the beauty that it has to offer, and impart as much wisdom as possible onto the next generation.
He's an inspiration. He's shown us that it can be done. The beauty of spring can be synthesized. And from the blossom of this perfection stands a man in living color.